Welcome to a rare glimpse into history. Before us are the faces of power from over a century ago. Kings, emperors, and czars who ruled during one of the most transformative periods in human history. These are the monarchs of the early 1900s, an era caught between ancient traditions and the modern world that was about to explode into existence. What makes this collection remarkable is not just who these men were, but when they lived. This was the twilight of monarchy as humanity had known it for millennia. Within 2 decades of these photographs being taken, many of these thrones would be empty, their occupants dead, exiled, or stripped of power. World War I was coming, and it would shatter the old order forever. Look at these faces. Some ruled vast empires spanning continents. Others governed smaller kingdoms, but wielded influence far beyond their borders. Nicholas II of Russia commanded the largest empire on earth, stretching from Poland to the Pacific. Wilhelm II of Germany presided over Europe's most powerful industrial nation. Franz Joseph of Austria-Hungary had already reigned for over 50 years when the 20th century began and would rule until 1916. In Asia, different dynasties were facing their own revolutions. Emperor Taisho guided Japan as it emerged as a modern power. Puyi, installed as China's emperor when he was barely 3 years old, would become the last of a line stretching back thousands of years. In Siam, kings Chulalongkorn and Vajirabhut modernized their nation while walking the tightrope of maintaining independence as European powers carved up Southeast Asia around them. Europe's royal families were all interconnected through marriage, creating a web of relationships that made them cousins, uncles, nephews to one another. Christian IX of Denmark earned the title Father-in-law of Europe because his children married into royal houses across the continent. George V of Britain, Nicholas II of Russia, and Wilhelm II of Germany were all cousins. They wrote letters to each other, they attended each other's weddings, and then they went to war against each other. What strikes us now, seeing these images brought to life, is their humanity. We see them smile, and suddenly they're not marble statues in history books, they're people. They had worries, ambitions, families they loved. Alfonso XIII of Spain survived multiple assassination attempts, yet ruled for decades. Victor Emmanuel III of Italy was barely 5 feet tall, but commanded respect through force of personality. Håkon VII of Norway was actually a Danish prince who became king when Norway gained independence. Some of these monarchs were reformers who genuinely tried to improve their nations. Others clung stubbornly to absolute power even as the world changed around them. Some were beloved by their people, others barely tolerated. But all of them represented something that was ending, the idea that divine right and royal blood determined who should rule. By the time these men were old, the map had been redrawn. The Russian, German, Austrian, and Ottoman empires had collapsed. New nations emerged from their ruins. Communism, fascism, and democracy competed for humanity's future. The age of empires gave way to the age of ideology. Yet, here they are, preserved in these photographs, now colorized and animated through modern technology. We can see the elaborate uniforms, the medals earned in forgotten wars, the ceremonial swords that symbolized authority stretching back centuries. We can see men young and old, some vigorous and others weary, all carrying the weight of nations on their shoulders. These images remind us that history isn't just dates and battles. It's made by human beings. Flawed, complex human beings who made choices that shaped the world we inherited. Some of their decisions led to unprecedented catastrophe. Others laid groundwork for progress we still benefit from today. As we watch these faces come alive through artificial intelligence, we're witnessing something remarkable, a bridge across time. These men lived in an era of telegraphs and early telephones. They could never have imagined that people a century later would use computers to make their portraits move and speak. Technology has given us this gift of connection across the generations. So take a moment with each face you see. Behind every uniform and crown, was a person who woke up each morning and tried to navigate the impossible complexity of ruling a nation. Some succeeded. Many failed. All of them are gone now, their kingdoms mostly dissolved, but their legacy echoes through everything that came after. This is history made human. These are the kings and emperors of the early 1900s, brought back to life, if only for a moment, to remind us that the past was real, vivid, and filled with people just as alive as we are today.